Welcome to episode 69 of the Perrysburg Podcast. I am your host and Perrysburg resident, Kim Newlove. This is an informational podcast for prospective, new, and current Perrysburg, Ohio residents. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. You can find the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Today, we are talking about bakeries and dessert destinations. If you like sweets, this episode is for you. This is the 5th episode in the Food and Drink series here on the Perrysburg Podcast. Part 1 was about ice cream shops, Part 2 was about coffee, Part 3 was about restaurants, and Part 4 was about butcher shops. Again, this is Part 5, this is episode 69, and this is about bakeries and dessert destinations. I will finish the series up with bars in December, how appropriate. A lot of people do some celebrating around Christmas and New Year's. And then Part 7 will be in January, and that covers miscellaneous food and drink topics. You can find the first 4 episodes in this series on perrysburgpodcast.com. Those are episodes 53, 56, 60, and 64. Let's dive in. I learned more about bakeries and dessert destinations in Perrysburg than I planned to for my prep for this episode. I want to, once again, thank all of the kind people on the Perrysburg, Ohio Facebook page for your input. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you all so much. You nominated bakeries and dessert destinations and independent home bakers that I have never heard of, and I have lived here since 2007. I thought I knew a lot, but I learned something by putting this episode together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for your input. Let's get to it. Bakeries and dessert destinations in Perrysburg, Ohio. I will go over the 4 categories that are in this episode first, and then I will go through each category one at a time. First is a list of bakers that you will find at the Perrysburg Farmers Market. Second, I will mention the chain dessert businesses. Third is the independent businesses, the local independent businesses. And fourth and finally, we will talk about honorable mentions. I just have 3. These are bakeries that are outside of Perrysburg, but they were mentioned by the Perrysburg, Ohio Facebook group, and I want to at least mention them. Up first is the Perrysburg Farmers Market, which you can find every Thursday from 3 to 8 p.m. from May through October in historic downtown Perrysburg. You'll find that on Louisiana Avenue, and of course the food trucks are on 3rd Street. Tents with vendors are typically on Louisiana Avenue, and then the food trucks are on 3rd Street. To learn more about the Perrysburg Farmers Market, go to visitperrysburg.com. According to the website, a number of bakeries and dessert sellers are listed. Not all of them run their businesses in Perrysburg, but you may be able to find them every single Thursday at the Farmers Market, May through October. Here's the list: Country Grains, Detroit Mini Donuts, Nini's Sweets. There are 2 kettle corn vendors. I apologize, I don't know their names. Sweets by Caroline, Crunchy Mama's Bakery, Sur La Ponce, Stuffed Cookies, Cookie Crush, Erie Cotton Candy Company, and Vegan Taste. If I missed anyone, I apologize. By the way, my favorite on that list is Stuffed Cookies. They have cookie sandwiches with some sort of cream in the middle, and I love them. They're so tasty. We actually usually split one among my family members because they are so incredibly sweet. That does it for the farmers market. Next up is my list of chain businesses that sell dessert items. It almost goes without saying that the big box stores like Costco, Meijer, Kroger, Walmart, and all the rest have bakery departments. But I would like to talk about Walmart and Costco real quick before I move on to other chain options in Perrysburg. Someone in the Facebook group told me that there is something special about the Walmart bakery on Route 20. Why is that? Because Lynn's Cakes decorates the special order cakes at Walmart's bakery. Lynn's Cakes even has a website for ordering in advance. Click the link in the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com to see Lynn's work. I have not ordered a cake from Lynn's Cakes, but her website has some really good-looking options. really good-looking samples. I would also like to mention one of my personal favorites, Costco. Costco has a very simple order form, just a one-pager, and you can order a delicious cake that has custard filling inside. I personally call this Costco cake. Do you call it Costco cake too? If you do, you're in good company. So if I'm buying a cake for an event and someone asks, "What kind of cake are you bringing?" All I have to do is say Costco cake, and in general, they understand. Thank you, Costco. I love your cakes. Other chain stores in Perrysburg include the Peach Cobbler Factory, Crumble, Nothing Bundt Cakes, Berry Bagels, Tim Hortons, and Dunkin' Donuts. According to their website, the Peach Cobbler Factory has at least 12 flavors of peach cobbler, and each one can be served with ice cream. Crumble has a variety of cookies, and of course, they also sell milk. Nothing Bundt Cakes specializes in bundt cakes. Big surprise there. Nothing Bundt Cakes specializes in bundt cakes. Berry Bagels sells fresh baked bagels. They are a local chain here in Northwest Ohio. Tim Hortons has a variety of bakery items, including donuts, donut holes, coffee, and more. And Dunkin' Donuts sells donuts, of course, donut holes, coffee, and more. That's all I have for chain stores in Perrysburg that sell bakery items and desserts. The third category in this episode is local businesses. Many Perrysburg residents have heard of the chain stores and been to the farmers market, but when it comes to local businesses, I personally was truly impressed with how many independent baking businesses this small town has. I will cover 13 bakeries, including one pet-focused bakery right here in Perrysburg. I love dogs, so this makes me happy. The bakers who have brick-and-mortar storefronts are up first, followed by the home bakers second. First up is Walt Churchill's Market Bakery Department. They have made many cakes for my family over the years, and they also sell great-tasting donuts. Number 2 on my list is Sur La Pounce Bakery, and 7 Little Cupcakes. 2 businesses, 1 brick-and-mortar store. They are located at 122 West South Boundary Street, and that's the Country Charm Shops. 7 Little Cupcakes sells cakes, including wedding cakes, and they also sell cupcakes and cookies. Sur La Pounce sells French bakery items. That means loaves of bread, croissants, tarts, cookies, and more. You can check out their websites in the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Again, that's Sur La Pounce and 7 Little Cupcakes, 2 businesses, 1 brick-and-mortar store. Let's move on to number 3 on my list, So Many Somethings Dessertery. This is located at 1021 Sandusky Street, Perrysburg, Ohio. It's where Sandusky Street, which is also known as Route 20, meets 3 Meadows Drive. There's a strip of businesses there with Pure Vision, Heel and Toe Podiatry, and Soul Studio Tattoo Parlor. So you'll find So Many Somethings Dessertery right there on Sandusky Street. So Many Somethings is a walk-in bakery with a display case. I have not been there yet, but I have seen pictures. They also take custom orders in person, over the phone, or with their Jot form online. They also cater. What do they sell? They sell a lot of different things. I can't possibly name them all, but I got a lot of information from Abby from So Many Somethings, and she said that they sell donuts, cupcakes, brownies and blondies, cinnamon rolls, pies, and much, much more. According to Abby, they are the home of the hero cake. What is a hero cake? Hero cakes are the signature cake style at So Many Somethings. They are cakes that are topped with the guest of honor's favorite candies, treats, etc., with the idea being that whoever brings the cake is their hero. I love that. Check out their holiday treats. They have a website, and you can check that out through the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Their holiday treats include hot cocoa bombs, dessert party platters, ganache truffles, and more. So many things at this bakery. I can't wait to check it out. They also have theme days throughout the year. They celebrate fun national holidays like Donut Day, National Unicorn Day, and many, many more. This particular bakery is not open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, so check out their Facebook page for more information. For example, they are closed on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday as I publish this in November of 2024. Number 4 is the Mindful Table. The Mindful Table. This one's located in Levis Commons at 4155 Chapel Drive, Perrysburg, Ohio. This is a vegan and gluten-free bakery and deli. According to their website, they have cakes, cheesecakes, cupcakes, brownies, muffins, bagels, cookies, and more. To learn more about The Mindful Table, visit their website, which is at themindfultable.com. That link is in the show notes also on perrysburgpodcast.com. Number 5 is Miss J Bakery. J like the letter in the alphabet, Miss J Bakery. This one's located at 25950 North Dixie Highway, Perrysburg, Ohio. It is located across from Levis Commons, and it's in the same strip with FedEx Kinko's. This is a traditional walk-in bakery with a display case, but they also take custom orders for cakes, cupcakes, and macarons. I'll put a link to Miss J Bakery in the show notes. Number 6, Nedley's Ice Cream Shop. This is the ice cream shop with the Hershey's sign on the building. It is located at 200 East South Boundary Street, and that's next to Gathering Volumes Bookstore. They have homemade sugar cookies and other treats like peanut butter no-bake cookies. My son Craig loves their frosted, frog-shaped cookies. So if you need something to go in there for, you need a reason to go in there, get yourself a frog cookie. Number 7, Three Dog Bakery. How fun. This is located in the shops at River Place near Walt Churchill's Market. It's kind of close to that pharmacy known as Booterer's. It's a compounding pharmacy. Three Dog Bakery is the bakery for dogs, according to their website. I love this. They are the world's first bakery for dogs. They opened in 1989, and they have been making tails wag ever since. I love that part of their website. What do they sell? They sell playful, exclusive seasonal treats, gourmet dog pastries, including their famous pup cakes, and one-of-a-kind canine cakes that you can have personalized for your dog's special occasion. What kind of special occasion? Well, there are 3 listed on their website. They are number 1, a birthday celebration, number 2, adoption day, or the anniversary of the adoption day, and number 3, training graduation day. I would call this obedience school graduation, but I'm not sure if that's the term that is used these days. Any special day is a good day to shop at Three Dog Bakery. You don't even need a reason to spoil your dog, but I just gave you 3. The last ones are home bakers, and this is number 8 on my list. Number 8 is Frosted Bakery. Frosted Bakery is a home baker. According to their Facebook page, they make cupcakes and pies. I'll have their Facebook page link in the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Number 9 is My Sweet 7. My Sweet 7 has been in business for 14 years. They sell cupcakes, cookie cakes, brownie cakes, chocolate-covered items like Oreos, Rice Krispie treats, strawberries, pretzel rods, Nutter Butters, and more. They also sell lemon bars, macarons, charcuterie boxes, and more. One of their other offerings is grazing tables for 100 people or more. I'll have a link to their Facebook page. Again, that's My Sweet 7. That Facebook page will be linked in the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Number 10 is Alyssa's Cakes and Confections. This is a home baker who is also a Penta graduate, a Penta Culinary Program graduate. I see a lot of wedding cakes and cookies on her website. You can learn more about Alyssa and her business at alyssascakesandconfections.com. The link's in the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Number 11 is Katrina's Sweet Treats. Again, this is a home baker. On Katrina's Facebook page, I see cookies, cupcakes, cake pops, and custom cakes. You can learn more about Katrina's Sweet Treats on her Facebook page. I've got a link to that in the show notes on perrysburgpodcast.com. Number 12 is Becky's Cakes, Cookies, and Confections. She makes cakes, cupcakes, and more, and she can fulfill large corporate orders too. Becky will be at the Junior High Parent Organization Craft Show at the Junior High on November 23rd. If you would like, stop by this craft show from 9 a to 3 p and buy some homemade sweet treats from Becky. A link to her Facebook page is also in the show notes. And the last one on my list is number 13. I saved the longest running one for last. It is Jane's Cakes and Confections. Jane has been serving the Perrysburg, Ohio area for 40 years. Her website is janesweddingcakes.biz. Again, that's janesweddingcakes.biz. Jane specializes in wedding cakes and wedding reception dessert stations. That is something that was not around when I got married in 2001. Apparently, this is an alternative to a wedding cake. Sure, you get the one-tiered wedding cake for the photo opportunity, right? But you have the dessert station then as a table with cakes, pies, brownie bites, lemon bars, cookies, chocolate-covered strawberries, dessert shooters, and more. This is new to me. I am learning a lot by putting together this episode. And congratulations to Jane's Cakes and Confections for being in business here in the Perrysburg area for 40 years. I talked to Jane on the phone and she said she's on the west side of Perrysburg. One last thing about Jane's business, Jane can bake for weddings, corporate events, birthdays, anniversaries, and more. She doesn't just do wedding cakes and wedding events. If you are a first-time customer for Jane's Cakes and Confections, go ahead and check out the website, and that is a good place to order. That ends my list of local independent bakeries and dessert destinations here in Perrysburg. I didn't know about probably half of these before I started prepping for this episode. So again, thank you so much to the Perrysburg, Ohio Facebook group page for all of the input. This was a great help. Thank you so much. Now, the fourth and final part of this episode is just a short list of honorable mentions. These are businesses that are not technically located in Perrysburg, but they were recommended by folks in the Perrysburg, Ohio Facebook group. There are just 3 on this list. They are number 1, Kim's Cakes LLC in Rossford. Number 2, Strand's Bakery on Holland, Sylvania Road in Toledo. I believe that's Holland, Sylvania at Angola. And number 3, Wixie Bakery in South Toledo. I smile when I say Wixie Bakery because that one's on the way to the zoo. That does it for the honorable mentions, and that concludes this episode. If you are a prospective, new, or current Perrysburg, Ohio resident, I hope you enjoyed hearing about bakeries and dessert destinations in our little town. I am very impressed by the number of independent baking businesses here in Perrysburg. Way to go, everybody. And I hope that if you need a cake, some cupcakes, a dessert bar, a wedding cake, etc., you will consider supporting one of our local businesses here in the Burg. Thank you for listening to episode 69 of the Perrysburg Podcast. Please visit perrysburgpodcast.com to read the show notes. In the show notes, you will find links to many of the businesses and bakers mentioned today. You will also find a link to the Perrysburg, Ohio Facebook group and more. If you would like to be notified by email each time a new episode of the Perrysburg Podcast comes out, sign up for the newsletter on perrysburgpodcast.com. I'll email you every single week. You can also get out your smartphone right now and subscribe to or follow the Perrysburg Podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube to get each new episode right when it comes out. Share this episode with anyone you think might enjoy it. Maybe you've got a friend with a sweet tooth. Go ahead and share this episode with them. I thank you for listening today, and I will talk to you next week.